Sensational.
Comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Who don't need this? Who don't need this? Man, I would love to have this.
Hey, I got some breaking medical news for you. Turns out we might actually know what causes multiple sclerosis. If you don't know, multiple sclerosis is an autoimmune condition where your own body attacks your nerves. When it attacks your nerves, it actually destroys these cells right here called your myelin sheath, which are very important for nerve conduction. Now, the thing is, we didn't know for the longest time why people get multiple sclerosis until recently, when researchers from Harvard published this paper where they looked at multiple sclerosis and they found that there was a high prevalence of the Epstein-Barr virus, aka EBV. EBV is a relatively common virus that can lead to a condition called mono. Researchers found that an infection with EBV increased your risk of developing MS by 32%. Now, this is a huge breakthrough in the world of medicine and epidemiology, and it's going to lead to a lot more breakthroughs to come.
If you suspect that you may have MS and your MRI is inconclusive, get this test. Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Michael Johnson. I'm a doctor of natural medicine. I've been in private practice in Appleton, Wisconsin since 1983. Good long time. And I have MS. And my MRI was inconclusive. So the test that I did was called a visually evoked potential. Visual evoked potential, VEP. Because before MRI, the gold standard to diagnose MS, which early stage MS is not easy to diagnose, was VEP because the optic nerve is the first nerve to demyelinate. Now lately I've been having double vision, so I'm going to get an MRI to make sure it's optic neuritis and not something more serious. But yeah, get a VEP. So I mentioned that in my MS series, and if you haven't watched it, go to my playlist up above, and it'll say Healing MS or Healing Multiple Sclerosis. There's a video series on it. But some of you have been taking melatonin, and you've noticed a change in energy, a change in the way you feel. Movement is a little better. It's not a cure by any stretch, but there have been studies, and I show you the studies in my video series, that melatonin does help regenerate the myelin sheath of the nerve. And as you know, with MS, it's the immune system attacking the myelin sheath of the nerve and a demyelination. So that's what you need to have done. And some of you have done that. I've heard from about 3 or 4 of you that you had the symptoms of MS, you weren't sure if you had it, your MRI was rather inconclusive, just like mine. You had the VEP after watching my series, and it was positive for it. Now you can address it. Now, one thing I will say, and I'm not telling you to do this, but the reason I feel I'm doing so well with my MS is I have never taken any medications. I mean, some of the latest medications right now they're using for MS are chemotherapy medications. So that's just my personal choice. I'm not saying you should do that. Legally, I can't say that you should do that, but that's just me. So if you think you have MS, MRI is inconclusive, ask your physician to order a VEP, visual evoked potential.
Yeah, if you have multiple sclerosis, you may know this information already, but I'm giving it to you again. Because if you've been watching my channel for years, then you know that you know about this stuff. So I'm just giving it to you again. I uploaded this before, but I'm just trying to tell you now. So, what else do you want to know? If you want any questions, just ask. I may not know it because I'm not a doctor. No, I'm not a doctor. But I know a little bit about multiple sclerosis because I have multiple sclerosis. You become knowledgeable on multiple sclerosis when you have multiple sclerosis. You know how it affects you. So you do what you can, and you're trying to deal with all that you can, because that's what you gotta do. This is your life now, and your life is dealing with multiple sclerosis. Now, I wish it was a person that I could fight, because if I could fight multiple sclerosis, yeah, I beat the hell out of him. I would beat the hell out of him for being around. But multiple sclerosis is like that guy that you wish would leave you alone, that wouldn't talk to you, but he always shows up everywhere you go. You're like, man, you're not my friend, so go away. But he won't. He won't. And he's not a physical person, so you can't make him go away. He's the invisible stalker. The invisible stalker. And he steals parts of you so that you can't get it back. You try to replace it, but it's never the same. Because you know he stole it. You wish you could find it. Some of you may have, but most of you, like me, once they steal it, that's it. It's gone. It's gone. Just go away. How many of you said this? Go away. Multiple sclerosis. Go away. And where's the cure? Multiple sclerosis has been around for a long time, but there's been no cure yet. What are the doctors doing? Talking to you and taking money? No, find a cure. Find a cure. If you find a cure, you'll make more money.
Chris.
Bye, Felicia.
Be the best you can be. Love your family. Love your friends. Spread love. Not violence. Not this virus. As always, peace.